my lovely angels, this is your girl Sim back with another episode of the Sim Squad. Hi! I have a brand new haul in store for you today, and it's a very good mix of completely different perfumes. They all are very different from each other, and most of the packaging is so intriguing. I'm gonna not try and waste too much time in this intro and start with the first one, which is the Rose de Soleil Eclat by Riffs Perfumes. Now, if you remember the OG Rose de Soleil by Riffs, it was similar to, but not exactly the same as Scandal. This is the Eclat version. So that's the bottle. The good thing is that they fixed the cap issue so it doesn't fall off at all. And that's the pretty, very gorgeous bottle. And the perfume kind of smells like this color. While this is not too blue, it's not a blue perfume at all actually. It is very close to God of Fire. Let's just call it a more wearable version of God of Fire. So a little about this perfume. It's a tropical fragrance on Fragrantica. It's called 4.5, which is amazing. It retails for only $25 for 100 ml, which is, you know, your Riffs prices are insane. Top notes: mango, lemon, ginger and red berries, heart of woody coumarin and jasmine, and in the base you have musk, amber, cypriol oil and agarwood. Now everybody, when they see the word agarwood, they're going to be like, you know, but wait. The opening is like, initially you feel you literally sprayed sunshine, you know, tropical sunshine, not Dubai sunshine. This one does not. Doesn't feel pretty at all right now. But this one is like you're on an island and you are sitting under the sun, but there's some sort of shade, so it's not piercing through. A mango and lemon sherbet candy that you're having, and it has a kick of ginger. This is the opening for you. It's very candy-like. The ginger is almost being a little effervescent. It's definitely herbaceous and spicy, but in a way, it's making it a little sparkly. So imagine the mango and lemon not being too realistic, they're almost candy-like, but the ginger in this is super realistic. Those opening notes, especially the mango, lemon and ginger, those are of prominence. The red berries are the part which makes it smell like candy. Then you have your non-indolic, non-bold jasmine. And then the woody coumarin is almost like I think this is a part where it's giving that golden sunshine kind of vibe. It's sweet, but at the same time, a little like hay. So if you get bothered by coumarin, this is not very strongly present. It's just adding a little something in the mix. Now finally in the base, you have the musk and amber. Of course, it's there to smoothen out the perfume, add a little bit of weight, you know, with the amber, the resinous sweetness. But you have the cypriol oil as well. This is giving it that little, I want to call it like a little kick of spicy, earthy smokiness. Like there's a weird sense of smokiness in this right there in the dry down. This could be the agarwood as well, but the agarwood is literally, to my nose at least, non-existent. I can't smell it at all. It might be there like some sort of a wood, but not really the agarwood or oud that we know of. Rose de Soleil Eclat is definitely a little less fiery than God of Fire. That one had like a proper kick and it was a bit more serious. This is like the playful version of it. It's a playful and I would just say wearable. Think going for a vacation, going to the beach, hanging out with your friends at the pool, but it has a little bit of that sophistication that makes it a little upscale. It's not smelling juvenile or too playful, childish kind of a perfume, although it has red berries, mango, lemon and all that jazz, yeah? Think of God of Fire and make it a little bit like a candy version, you know? I would say this is unisex. I would prefer this on a woman though, but I can see a guy pulling this off, especially when you're in that fun, playful mood of by the poolside or if you have gone for a vacation. Daytime, spring, summer, no Middle Eastern vibe, although the agarwood is supposedly there. Projection is around 2 feet and the longevity is 6 to 7 hours. My rating for this is a 9 out of 10. The celebrity I've chosen for this is Hailey Bieber. She always looks sun-drenched. I don't know how she achieves that. I think she just has very good skin. And of course she goes minimal with her makeup and everything. So Hailey Bieber for this one. The color perception for this, although I would love to go for this one, I would choose a lemon sorbet kind of a shade. But maybe I'll add a little bit of greenness in that also owing to the ginger. Let me see. Let me try and pick the color that's coming in my mind, which is like changing at first. It's going from yellow, green, sage. It's all like mixing up, you know, but I'll try to put the right color for you. The temperature is cool and the presence is moderate. Next, we have a very interesting bottle and packaging and everything. Of course, it's from French Avenue because just look at this, okay? Look at the, oh my word, look at that. The packaging is beyond insane. So you have like this, oops. Okay, so you don't really have to take the sleeve off, although the sleeve comes off. It just popped out. So that's your bottle. Ah! I mean, look at that. Just, even if the perfume finishes, the juice finishes inside, I'll save the bottle. It looks like a showpiece. So cute, you know. Probably I'll do that and then just, you know, without the branding. But yeah. So of course, the statue, Venus de Milo. I did not tell you the name of the perfume. It's called Venus de Milo, which is the, if I'm not mistaken, the Aphrodite statue somewhere. I don't know where it is, but I know it's a statue of Aphrodite. It's basically just the bust part of it, yeah. A little bit about the perfume. This is a Oriental Vanilla on Fragrantica. It's got 4.13. The price in UAE is $55 for a 100 ml. They say it's 100 ml. I don't know because it's so weird, the shape, that I can't. And this is supposed to smell like Bacciami. But for me, it smells like a combination of Bacciami and 100 Silent Ways together. The top notes are caramel, pear, nectar and sweet orange. Middle notes are lily of the valley, jasmine and milk. And then in the base you have benzoin, musk, ambroxan and Madagascar vanilla. Oh wow. Okay, so it's a very fruity gourmand. So you definitely can smell the milk and caramel. But in the opening you have like these very fresh, juicy fruits like pear. You know that feeling pear gives you, know how much I like pear in my perfumes. And you have like that orange, like all of it is present but like in moderation. So when you spray the perfume, you get hit by a blast of all these fruits. Very specifically, they're saying pear, nectar and sweet orange, and that's exactly the feeling I get. It's like that sweet orange with pear. You have that caramel, not in a very strong sticky way, but it's there. You can smell the caramel. And then the perfume very quickly within a few seconds starts turning milky. And now when I say milky, it's not like the disgusting smell of milk. This is a very nice creamy milky facet which almost smells like if a fountain had milk pouring through, but it would be a little watery. Okay, not the right way of saying it, but it's like milk mixed with lily of the valley. That's okay, not the right way of saying it. What am I doing? Okay, it smells like a fresh, cold version of milk without that milk smell. And think like lily of the valley is growing around it, and then you have like this fountain, a rock thingy, and then there's a fountain built inside, and there's milk thingy coming through, you know, like a creamy thing coming through. So beautiful. So yeah, in the middle, they say they have, okay, lily of the valley, jasmine and milk. So imagine this mixture, yeah, you have white florals, but why specifically lily of the valley? Because it smells very, very clean. And that milk is not turning too lactonic and too heavy or heady, even though it has that caramel in the opening. In the dry down, you have benzoin, musk, ambroxan and Madagascar vanilla. Thank God the ambroxan in this is not like too powerful. The musk and the vanilla with the benzoin. I like this perfume so much. I like it so much. You know, first of all, I got sold because of the packaging. First of all, when you open it, you're like, and then you have this piece of art, literally. And then I didn't expect, honestly, I was thinking it might smell like Blanche Bet, but I think Grecia, which I have not reviewed yet, by the way. Oh, shoot, I have to get that as well. I had thought it would be, and Grecia has like a similar like packaging of like Roman, you know, and because I guess Latafa, at the back of my mind, I have that bottle of, I forgot the name of the perfume. And when I saw this kind of I went there, you know. I definitely thought it would be a little bit of a lactonic scent just because of the packaging, where I was right, rest of it I was wrong. So think Bacciami mixed with 100 Silent Ways. Very feminine. I think you can wear this more during spring, daytime for sure, maybe early fall as well. There's no Middle Eastern vibe. Projection is 2 to 3 feet. Longevity, I would say, is about 7 hours, after which it just becomes like a skin scent. Initially, I gave it a rating of 8 out of 10. This is a 10 out of 10. You know, I promised you guys that if I give a perfume 10 out of 10, it has to be like kick-ass. It has to, you know what, I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. Okay, it's still an improvement, and I'm getting very tempted to give it a 10 out of 10 right now, but I think I'm just overly impressed with the packaging. And although the perfume is also very, very gorgeous, is it like something I can't live without? That's the question, right? So 9 out of 10 for this one. And celebrity, no one else came to mind. Phoebe Denever. Like, I saw this statue, you know, and someone, like, it had to be somebody very dainty, somebody who has this porcelain kind of a skin thingy going on. The color perception for this is a creamy blush. We'll try to find the right shade for you. The temperature, I'm gonna say slightly leaning warm. And the presence of this is very, very mild. Next, we have another perfume from Nusuk. Nusuk is a part of Riv's Perfumes. So it's Riv's and Nusuk Perfumes. This is called Fawah. It has this gorgeous, beautiful packaging. Look at that. It's actually like set in this velvety box with a very beautiful, I don't know, this is so underrated because first of all, stunning packaging. And obviously when I saw this packaging, platinum and black, I assumed it's a masculine fragrance, and I was so wrong. This is unisex, yeah? So this one is the midnight edition, by the way, of Fawah. I haven't tried the OG version, but I'll try to get my hands on it. Look at the sprayer, by the way. Oh my god, I love this so much. Okay, so maybe, because people kind of associate this with a little bit going towards the DNA of Angel Share, but this is Oriental Vanilla. Okay, so when you say spicy Oriental Vanilla, people's mind automatically go towards this ambery colored juices, which might smell a little masculine, you know. But look at the color of this one. This is like a gray thingy, right? And that's exactly how I feel. Like I feel this smells like a dark gray, but warm. This is a very cold color. So this is supposed to smell like Ujan by Perfumes de Marly. On Fragrantica, this has got 4.91. Imagine the ratings. Alright, let me tell you the notes for this. The top notes are cinnamon, honey and osmanthus. In the middle, you have amber, benzoin, davana and cistus labdanum. And in the base, you have musk, patchouli, tonka bean and vanilla. It retails for only $30 for a 100 ml bottle in the UAE. I hope you can find it wherever you are because, by the way, this is definitely not suitable for spring, summer. This is a very fall, winter perfume. Cold weather for sure. But think of a very, very wearable version of that amber DNA, the spicy Oriental Vanilla, made into a cold, fresh version. The opening smells like very, very boozy honey with a very overripe plum, spiced up and mixed with like a hint of osmanthus. That's the opening, but it's not overwhelming or overly sweet. When you say honey, boozy notes, you imagine like a sickly sweet perfume. This is not at all. It's very tame. Quickly, you're moving towards a very resinous heart. You have your amber, benzoin, all very resinous. Then you have your aromatic davana and very, very balsamic but smoky labdanum. This is, I feel, the part where the perfume becomes very, very magnetic. It's almost, I don't want to use the word holy, but you feel like spiritual somehow, you know, but it is, okay, it's not going to sound right and this might be a little controversial, okay? You know, sometimes I want to say things, but I know I'll get cancelled, you know. It's seductive, but in a very spiritual way and not in a very positive light. That's the best way I can explain it. It's a seductress. Now, you know, while all these notes sound very, very heavy, like from the get-go, cinnamon, honey, osmanthus, then you have your amber, benzoin, davana, cistus, labdanum. The moment you hear labdanum, you know, you have your amber and everything, you're like, oh, it's going to get very, very thick, resinous and heavy, especially mixed with honey. It's not. I can't stress enough how airy this perfume is. Then in the dry down, you have your musk, tonka bean and vanilla, adding that sweetness, maintaining that little bit of warmth and smoothness in the perfume, but you have your patchouli there as well, which is adding earthy notes, again maintaining not a very dirty patchouli or very, very heavily earthy. Somehow this entire perfume is very airy. Somehow it turns airy, earthy and powdery all at the same time. So sweet cinnamon boozy opening. In the middle you get resinous and smoky notes, and in the dry down you get earthy but very, very powdery notes as well. Anyhow, Fawah Midnight Edition. sexy in not a very obnoxious way. It's not trying to be a siren, it's a silent seductress or a seductor guy version of that. I literally cannot stop smelling this perfume. This is a massive 10 out of 10 for me. Like this perfume, like from the get-go, first of all, when I literally looks like, oh, this might smell like Liam Grey, or it might be like a very masculine aromatic blue perfume, and it was not. It's definitely unisex. I would say evenings, all weather. There is some amount of Middle Eastern vibe because of that labdanum and that smokiness. Maybe not Middle Eastern, I would say it's more like a church-like, which is why I was like church or mosque, you know, that's why I was going towards a spiritual thing, but it's almost smelling like a graveyard instead of a mosque or a church, you know. That's where I was like, I'm going to get cancelled, so I'm like, you know, go figure it out yourself, you know. The projection is like 2 to 3 feet, and you'll get it in whiffs. The longevity, I would say 7 to 8 hours. The celebrity I chose for this was, I wanted her to be like burlesque, so Dita Von Test came to mind, but now I'm a bit like, not her. Her has to be like a little bit more sweet, but serious and quite bold. This is, because it lacks this obnoxious boldness, I would say, please recommend somebody. Think of a seductress, but who is not very, very obnoxiously bold, yeah? The color I chose for this is a plum purple. The temperature is cool and the presence is moderate. Next, we have 2 new perfumes from Paris Corner. Very excited to share these with you because one of them, the ad and everything was really intriguing, cool, and that's the Fayora. That's the box. It's like a story. So you have unicorns on it, you have like these pink and purple clouds and mountains. It looks like it's snow, but it's not, you know. Then you have these birds, gold flecks. It's so pretty. And the box opens like that. Look at that. Like off late, I don't know, like look at that, like, you know, cherry blossoms and unicorns, and like, you know, it's night, so you have your moon. The 8-year-old in me just came out to play. So this is a floral musk perfume. That's the bottle. Pretty. The colors are very, very nice, and it feels quite nice in the hand as well. Excellent sprayer. Oh my word. Okay, so this one is passion fruit rose bomb in the opening. The passion fruit in this is very, very juicy. The rose bit in this is like candied rose. It almost smells like candied rose petals. Let me tell you a bit about the perfume and then I can describe the perfume. So it's a floral musk. On Fragrantica it's got 4.75. It retails for $35 for 100 ml here in the UAE. It's definitely their own creation, but you know what? When I smelled this in the complete dry down, it was smelling, giving me a little bit of Dama Bianca and a little bit of Donna Bon Roma. So imagine Dama Bianca, but the opening of that kumquat, and it's swapped with this juicy passion fruit, but then you have very, very candied roses in the opening, the rose petals. In the middle you have orris, jasmine, lily of the valley and violet. So you see where it's going now, right? Very candy-like, very Dama Bianca middle notes. But there's one very major note in the middle which is not mentioned over here. It's sugar. I can smell sugar, right? Maybe like a pink sugar kind of scent. And in the base you have sandalwood, cedar, vanilla and musk. Very creamy, very gourmand. It's like a clean floral. Jasmine over here non-indolic, so it's not gonna like smell very much like a realistic jasmine, with a very woody dry down of sandalwood and cedar, light woods, and then you have your musk and vanilla again to make it a little bit more creamy. So yeah, I can see this going like very, very, very close to Dama Bianca with like nuances, and I of course prefer this one over Dama Bianca. I like Dama Bianca, actually I quite a bit like it, but this one is hitting, like there's something there in it, it's hitting the right spot. And somehow the packaging, the bottle, everything, it does smell like pink, it smells purple all together. What I like about this perfume is that it's playful, but it's not childish. Despite the packaging and everything, it doesn't smell childish at all. It smells, again, very, very romantic, very like a fairy tale or something, but it is not vintage. It's beautiful. I really like it. I was pleasantly surprised because normally this kind of DNA I don't gravitate towards. You know me. Violet, iris, freaks me out. When I see that in a perfume, I'm like, take caution. See me? Go into this with caution. This is very adaptable. It'll adjust to the time of day, weather, everything. But it's very, very feminine. So I can't see any guy pulling this off, but go ahead, wear it. Maybe you can use this for layering to add a little bit of sweet candy powderiness to your perfume. There's no Middle Eastern vibe in this. The projection, I would say, is like 2 to 3 feet, and the longevity is 7 to 8 hours. This lasts. My rating for this is a 9 out of 10. And the celebrity, I couldn't think of anyone except for Ellie Fanning, because she has like this fairy tale girly girl appearance. Like she could be this person over here, you know. The color perception is a blush pink. Temperature, I would say, is cool, and the presence is moderate. Now last but not the least is Perseviron by Paris Corner. That's the bottle of Perseviron. Although the box was very mediocre, the bottle is very, very heavy. It also kind of gives me that Lutfa collection. Is it up there? Oh no, it's at the back. So even the Lutfa collection from Arabia, they had the, I forgot the name because it was such a long name. It had like the similar color and everything, and that was also the Altair DNA. That's interesting, you know. But this bottle is super, super heavy. Oriental Vanilla Fragrantica rating 5, which is like, it's brand new, but it's already got 5. $30 for 100 ml. Top notes are cardamom, bergamot and cinnamon. Heart notes of orange blossom, praline and whipped cream. And in the base you have guaiac wood, vanilla and woody dry down. And dry wood, sorry, woody dry down. Oh my goodness. So this is Altair, but a very, very creamy edition. So you know all the Altairs, they have like some kind of variation. Altair on its own, it's a very spicy, woody, oriental, little heady. Then you have your liquid brune, which was done by French Avenue, which was a darker version. Then you had like your Island Vanilla Dunes by Khadlaj, which was a closer version to Altair. And then there was another one, the Lutfa, which was a more aromatic version. And now this one is a creamier version. So this one has a very strong whipped cream note in the background, which makes the perfume a little bit creamy. I don't want to call it milky, but it's definitely going a little lactonic. It's a little strange too, because Altair DNA, it's like one of my favorite DNAs, and any kind of changes to it, just like your Liam Grey, if there's like if the core is the same and then you have like a little bit of things change here and there, I adore those perfumes. And the same goes with Altair as well, and I am loving this. So for everybody who does not know what Altair smells like, it's one of the most oriental perfumes that you can come across. The opening is like beautiful sweet spices, your cinnamon, cardamom, almost like a dessert-like spiciness. There's just the right amount of bergamot, not done in a very citrus way or a very, very zesty way, but it just adds a little bit of freshness. Then you have a little bit of your white florals mixed with, I want to say caramel or praline, you know, a little bit of those gourmand notes with amber, vanilla in the dry down, and a lot of woods in the dry down. That's your Altair DNA. Now imagine the same DNA with the opening of your dessert-like sweet spices. You have your cinnamon, cardamom with that hint of bergamot. But now in the middle, you have white florals, you have praline, and then you've added that whipped cream element that's making it creamy. But the dry down is the same. It's again resinous amber, you have your guaiac wood, you have like some sort of other hidden aromatic resins and a whole lot of vanilla. It's such a gorgeous DNA. I like it so much. So if you like Altair and you're obsessed with that DNA, yeah? And if you're collecting all the versions, or if you don't have any of the versions of Altair, this is more of a dessert-like version of Altair. It still maintains that royal status. It smells very grand and impressive, head-turning. Definitely smells much more expensive than what it's being sold for. Of course, unisex, you can wear this like day and night, but definitely during cold weather, not cool, but cold weather. Middle Eastern, Oriental vibe, very, very high. It literally smells like an Oriental or Middle Eastern dessert. The projection is like 3 to 4 feet, if not more. Longevity is 8 hours for sure. My rating for this is a 10 out of 10. Guys, Altair, Burberry Goddess, and your BDK Gris Chanel, these variations and everything, it'll always usually be a 10 out of 10 for me. The celebrity I've chosen for this is Sofia Boutella. Exotic, beautiful, but strong. The color perception is a cocoa cupcake. The temperature is warm and the presence is super bold. Now you see what I meant when I said this collection is like entirely weird. Like it's like a good mix of all sorts of different kind of perfumes. You had your Fayora, which was a very romantic fairy tale. Your your Perseviron, which is like your dessert but a serious dark royal dessert. You had your Venus de Milo, which is your lactonic fruity floral. And then of course you had the two from Rifsa Nusuk, which was your tropical seaside kind of perfume. And then your very dark, mysterious Ojan thingy going on with Fawah Midnight Edition. So very, very successful haul. I would like to mention over here that all these were sent to me as PR. Let me put that pencil down. I've been doing that off late, yeah? Picking up that pencil and moving it around like a wand because I like to do pretend like Expelliarmus. I'm such a nerd. Oh my gosh. You know, I know almost all the spells from Harry Potter. Yeah. Like, and then I say I don't have time, you know, because I'm wasting my time learning things like this. Anyhow, guys, I hope you enjoyed this weird mix of perfumes. I kind of like doing this. Like, I like hauls where perfumes are very different from each other. It makes you excited and it makes you happy to try out each and every perfume then because they're not similar. You're not getting bored, you know. Especially for a person like me, I get bored easily. Okay, I'm gonna head out to work because I'm already late. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.